You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
What's up, Black and White sports fans? John Matrix here, and I am back with another video. All right, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button if this is your first time here. Also, check out the join button and the merch. We have our Defund the Athlete shirts. And folks, what we're going to be talking about today is one of the main reasons why we're calling to defund the athletes. So we're going to go over to the University of Louisville. The University of Louisville basketball team decided that they were going to go out and they were going to protest because they, like many other woke athletes out there, feel like Breonna Taylor did not get justice. So that's their right. They can go ahead and do what they want to do. But however, they continue to spread false narratives about this and also about being black in America. And I'm very, very sick of it, okay? I'm really, really sick of this. So the University of Louisville's head coach, Chris Mack, and his players actually went out and they protested. They didn't riot. They didn't loot. So at least that's a good thing because we know what's actually going on out there right now. It's a bunch of rioting. It's a bunch of looting. So they were actually out there about 45 minutes, and they were actually sporting the Marxist BLM shirts, you know, which I like to call bigots, losers, and Marxists. They were wearing those shirts. Not a fan of BLM whatsoever. They have actually done more damage and caused more harm to the black community than the police could ever do in the course of a year. But this is some of the things that these woke athletes were actually saying out there, okay? And it just continues to spread false narratives once again. So one of the players actually said this: over the past 3 years, I've come to love the city of Louisville. Louisville has become home. Louisville is family. I love the Ville with all my heart. That's why I share my deepest condolences to the Taylor family. Okay, no problem with that. We understand nobody wanted Breonna Taylor to get killed. But he says this: it breaks my heart to hear the situation and the tragedy that Breonna went through, and to not see justice be served. It is time to take a stand. It is time to take a stand against police brutality and social injustice against the black community. Folks, I wish that he would actually elaborate on that, because I want to know what kind of police brutality took place. The attorney general has said that the cops were fired at first. What are the cops supposed to do? Not fire back? You know, it's dark, it's nighttime. They bust down the door. They see that her boyfriend has a gun. He shoots the cop. What do you expect them to do? She was in the drug game. She got her own self in this situation. The cops were just reacting. They were protecting themselves. All these woke athletes still believe that the cops committed murder. No normal thinking person believes this, but the woke athletes continue to spread this false narrative, okay? But here's another false narrative that's going around, okay? A transfer from San Francisco, his last name is Milan. He actually said being black in America is very terrifying. Folks, that is another false narrative. See, this is nothing more than far left talking points. You know, the left has been telling black people for so long that you're in danger, that there's a lot of danger for you just being black in America. And that is 100% a complete lie. It's a complete lie, folks. You know what? I'm black in America, and guess what, folks? I'm not terrified of anything or anybody. I feel perfectly okay walking out of my house or driving in my car. I'm not worried about the police pulling me over because I'm black. And where I live at, I actually live by the tollway, so there's always police on the tolls making sure, you know, people aren't speeding or, you know, not violating the tolls. I drive by them every day. I am not worried about them whatsoever. And I'm sorry that my phone is going off, my dog is barking, something's going on outside, but I'm not going to edit that out. So I'm just going to continue on here. And these are young men here, young men. And they have their minds poisoned because they refused to accept the truth. The truth is her name was on that warrant. The truth is they had a lot of evidence against her. But facts and evidence don't mean anything to the athletes because they have this notion, this preconceived notion before the facts even come out that this was racially motivated when it clearly was not. This was not a racially motivated crime. If it was, they just would have bust down the door, went in there and shot Breonna Taylor. And they probably would have killed her boyfriend also because he was black as well. But they didn't do that. That's the lie that's still going on around there. It's a complete lie and it needs to stop, folks. But also, the head coach also brought this up as well. Okay. And this is just really, really ridiculous. What's going on. The coach said this. He said, quote, "I understand as a white guy, a 50-year-old white guy, Black America is hurting." That's what he says. And in order for Black America to not hurt, white people have to get involved, older white people. I am sick of this, folks. I'm very, very sick of these white liberals for the most part. They think they know what Black America wants. They think that they can speak out on how Black America feels. Folks, certain Black people may be hurting from this, absolutely 100%. But me, myself, I think it's a tragedy. But you know what? It's not affecting my life. Breonna Taylor made her own bed. She wanted to get in drugs. I said it before, man. If you want to get involved in drugs, it's going to end two ways, death or prison. I mentioned this on my channel yesterday, man. One of my friends that I grew up with, his uncle was a big time drug dealer. And I don't think his uncle even made it to 40 because his uncle was gunned down, drive-by shooting outside of his mother's house. I believe it was his mother's house. And he was a big time drug dealer. When you get in the drug game, folks, how many drug dealers do you actually know that are able to retire? I can't think of one because they've all either been in prison or they died. Unless they change their life around, they're still going to either be in prison or they're going to die. I wish that these young Black men would start holding other Black people accountable for their own actions. And the liberals also, they don't seem to want to hold anybody accountable, any Black person accountable, because if you do that, you're looked at as being a racist. And it needs to stop today, folks. It needs to stop today. It really, really does need to stop today. We're not victims here in America, okay? I don't feel like a second-class citizen. I've been Black for 43 years. And whenever I die, I would have been Black my whole life, okay? But I'm not worried about the police knocking on my door and coming to take me out because I'm not involved in criminal activity. I don't steal, I don't kill, I don't do drugs. I don't deal in drugs. I have a regular, respectable job that I do every day, mainly from this office now because of the virus. But I have never feared for my life with police officers. The only Black people that I've seen in my lifetime that have had to worry about police have been the drug dealers. And you know what? They pretty much all got locked up or they pretty much all got killed. And for the most part, they were actually killed by other drug dealers or other gangs. It wasn't by the police. That is the facts. And these athletes are just buying into this far left bullshit that's being put out there. We're not living in fear. And the facts are still being distorted by the media, by athletes about what truly happened. And they're blasting the attorney general, a Black attorney general, and they're calling him a sellout, Uncle Tom, a coon, because he gave us the facts. And when it came down to it, folks, it wasn't him that made the decision. It was the grand jury. The attorney general, it wasn't his decision. It was the grand jury. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this Louisville basketball team out there spreading false narratives once again on Breonna Taylor and being Black in America? It's a complete lie, folks. But anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.